What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Be Easy, and man, listen, yeah, we are back once again, guys. And whether the price is up or down, we keep a mound to pitch from. So getting right into this, guys. This video will be called Data Relevance. And also I got my AMC Investor Connect coin NFT today, which was a good feeling. January 18th, 2022. So we're going to delve into the information, guys, and this will be regarding quite a bit of different informations, different aspects, different views that we're looking at this thing from. So AMC, guys, GME, obviously they're brothers, they're twins, they're related somehow, very closely intertwined, 80% overlap in the short interest. So once one goes, the other one goes, and they're going to mirror each other moving throughout until the squeeze, guys. So let's continue to look at that, and we'll delve right into our first talking point here. 100,000 a share. I don't want to fucking hear it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to know about it. What are we talking about here? First of all, guys, this is your play. This is your financial decisions. Do not have this group mindset into where let's all sell at 100K, because guess what they're going to do? They're going to not let it reach 100K. All right? They're watching the global sentiment of retail in each and every aspect. A quick thought on that, guys. I think they're having a lot of information as far as it's quite simple to put wherever we're at, they're not. They're taking the opposite end. And wherever we're not at, they're going in heavy. It's that damn simple. I mean, let's move on. So our stock's core valuation, obviously, guys, is going to be set at the price target for between $40 and $50. That's the fair price for AMC, as the global sentiment of the holders of the stock, minus the bag, is going to be at about $39 or $40, between 39 and 41 bucks, average holder amount. So that clearly states everybody's mindset was saying, hey, $40 stock off the rip. That's beside the point. So that's our core valuation of the stock, AMC. So why is it trading at 1780 was the bottom out of the day. Bounce back in, which I told somebody in the chat earlier, it's going to reach 17 and change and bounce up. So with that said, guys, there's definitely a feeling of a bottoming out here, but we won't know. So let's get to our next talking point, which will be the Al from Boston releasing the video that BlackRock's increasing their shares, and we on this channel know that's never a good thing. As far as when the American institutions increase their share count, more than likely they're going to be share lending and loaning the shares out to collect the premiums. And on another note, BlackRock is at its strongest it's been in its existence. So for us to be relying on them to be margin called, probably not going to happen. We're going to be looking for some other sort of catalyst here. And the catalyst is just going to be shorts covering. That's it. That's the only catalyst that we need. So let's move on. BlackRock increasing by 9 million shares to a total amount of 39 million shares that they have now on record. Those 39 million shares, they're going to be bouncing them back and forth, bouncing back and forth. And when they increase their share count, guys, I'm going to guess that they've pinged all of their remaining shares as many times as they can, so they pick up some more so they can ping those back and forth. And by the accounts, 9 million is about a third of 30 million. Well, 40 million now. It's going to be about a quarter of that, so 25% increase. So what that 25% tells me, they're going to use that 25% to ping back and forth to basically quell and subdue the stock movements and the price. The volume's been so flat. It's crazy to see. Next talking point we're going to get to, guys, is going to be Lou and Al kind of going back and forth on kind of making videos to, kind of go back and forth with each other. Does that mean they're in cahoots? Could they be working together behind the scenes to, drive up the views and I'm just confused on that because, you know, there's the Phil for Real video that shows that Lou did say that Al was on the payroll, but that could be a Freudian slip. That could be, you know, people, I make mistakes a lot of times in my videos with my vocabulary and my articulation, just based on the fact that I'm doing this all off the top of the head. Now, all of the data and the research and the DD that I do is all on paper and all on the internet, so to speak, and reading and watching hours of videos to kind of draw a conclusion, which is why I make videos, to kind of make it a more palatable version of all of the combined information, to just basically, you know, give to you guys in a very palatable way to consume and take it in as a natural human should, without all of these jargon, without all the jargon and confusing vocabularies that they like to use to elongate and make long-winded sentences that kind of just say the same thing very concisely. So here we go. Lou and Al, very confusing relationship. They're with each other, they're against each other, but they're creating fervor and commentary and thought processes, owning real estate in your minds and my mind, to just have us thinking and talking about these people. We want to know who the Al from Boston was, or Lou was, or even me was before this AMC thing. So let's keep in mind what the commonalities are, which is AMC, guys. We're here for the AMC GME, rips, squeeze, whatever you want to call it, because we know they're both basically one and the same. So with that, let's move on to the Lou with the My Devil. Why does he always say My Devil? Very confusing. Do you work for Citadel, sir? I mean, what's going on there? I don't know. I'm confused. So with that, Lou does say that he respects the progress that Ken Griffin has made in this current market that we're in right now. As far as he's probably watched Ken Griffin go from infantile stages into market making, you know, aspirations, to now currently living out his dream and being the market maker and basically being able to do whatever the hell he wants, because basically he owns the shares of every single stock on the market, and he can pretty much do what he wants. That led me to another thought about the market makers owning the shares and stuff like that. That's definitely something we need to continue to look at. But we'll get back to that. So, My Devil. What the hell are you talking about, Lou? I mean, we know you're big-hearted, big teddy bear type of guy who's probably, you know, dangerous in some aspects. If you're from New York, you probably know a lot of people that can, you know, do what they need to do. So, with that said, the My Devil thing is just very confusing when you look at it. It's like, are you saying My Devil as far as like you're looking up to the guy? Like, man, this guy's amazing. He took a small account and made it into basically taking over the whole market. So maybe that's what he's saying by My Devil. Or maybe he's saying you're directly being funded or employed by Citadel. So that could mean two different things. Let's keep an eye on it. But for now, Lou, you're good with me. As I said, every piece of content that you've released has been the same message. So people who kind of preach those same messages, you got to tend to believe what they're saying, because they haven't wavered. They haven't shown any signs of weakness in their arguments by flip-flopping as much, as far as not knowing what you're talking about, not producing and sending out the same message to fellow apes or retail investors, whatever you want to call them. So we'll leave that there. So we're going to skip our next talking point, as I haven't done as much research as I wanted to into this as to who's going to be the players moving forward. So I'll just use my brief synopsis of this real quick, which will be the players now are retail, hedge funds, market makers, institutions, banks, and the governing bodies that are involved, which would be the SEC, the CFTC, which I've been spoke about, the DTC, the DTCC, all of the other compensatory, you know, clearing houses and things of that nature. So those are the players now. So moving forward, my thought process was going to be those players are going to be changing up positions as far as quarterback, wide receiver, running backs, defense, linemen. It's going to be changing up because retail is going to be inserted into the starting lineup. So we're going to be taking somebody out. And with that said, that's going to leave our relationship with the brokers. Now, our broker to retail relationship is going to leave them. They don't want to deal with us directly. They don't want to have us sitting at the table while they have to sit and look at our faces, our ugly mugs. They'd rather deal with what they've been dealing with. So with that said, they're not going to let us fully at the table, but they are going to have a handler who's going to be at the table that kind of represents us. Not in a neutral manner, not in a positive or negative light. It's just they're going to be, our handler. So we'll leave it there. So the players moving forward in the future market, as I said, by this summer, I'm expecting entire changes into the structural organization of the market as far as to elaborate on that. Like I said, the American U.S. stock market is going to be taking a hit as far as the sentiment goes if they don't allow the proper regulations and rules to play out and the enforcement of some of these laws that or rule filings that are not being abided by the corrupt players in the market. If we don't start seeing some real backlash on that when you're doing illegal things, we're not going to be, by this summer, we're going to lose patience. We're going to be like, what the hell? So that's why it has to be, something has to be done by end of year this year, because we're going to be seeing a lot more pain, I think, as far as the news and what they're spewing out. It's going to be signifying a little bit more of pain as far as volatility is concerned. I'm not saying that the stock price is going to be moving to $5, $10. Even if it does, who the hell cares? That's where we're at now. We're too far gone. And they've diluted this thing so much with the shorts and the synthetics that it's going to take a major, massive amount of buying pressure and things of that nature to move the actual stock, because our stock price valuation is set at a 9.7 billion, I think, stock valuation. So with that said, it's probably at least 10 times more than that, giving us at least a $1 trillion valuation on the stock. And we know that how that works with Tesla. It takes a lot of big money to move those things, and Apple and things of that nature. It's going to take a big push in that sense. So moving on, players now will not be the players moving forward as far as their starting roles. Somebody's going to have to take a back seat. So that's that. So success of meme stocks correlate with unemployment. That is what I wrote down here, but I think what I meant to say was that just in general, the market weakness, market strength is going to be directly correlated to the strength of the U.S. economy, guys. If you don't know that, then what are you doing? Basically, every time you read a news article that says about the stock market, they go directly to unemployment stats. And they read off the stats, but obviously the stats don't show the full picture. As far as, unemployment compensation rates are going down, but the actual employment rate is not going up in the same rate. So it's kind of offsetting and kind of confusing to anyone reading the data. Like, where's the disconnect? So they figured that out, and we all figured it out. Guys, people have been figuring out ways to make money in a pandemic because they were forced to. Me personally, I got laid off from a machine operating job due to the fact that COVID. We weren't able to secure new contracts by bringing different companies into the inner workings and showing how the actual workings work. So that put me to put my money into the stock market. So that's what's going on. I don't know how they don't get that. So they do get that, actually, because that's the reason they're shorting everything that retail's doing. They want to put your butt back to work. They want to take all your savings, take all your stock market money, bring it down to a very nominal amount, and make you think and look at it like, whoa, what the heck's going on here? I got to get back to work. But little do they know, we already are doing that. Anyways, that's what I mean by the unemployment. So my next talking point here, guys, will be retail does not move stocks, or do they? And I kind of put another talking point later on, but I'm kind of going to bring it back here to say about the Robinhood debacle, guys. Let's really look back and look at what happened. When Robinhood was a major player here, somehow the stocks went up. And that's what made me think maybe they wanted Vlad to be our handler. Maybe they were kind of like, hey, this kid Vlad, he's all right, he's kind of cool. Let's let him handle the retail side. We'll deal with Vlad, and Vlad will be basically the representative of retail when he comes to me when these bulk wholesale items trying to buy, you know, a 20,000 lot of AMC for just per se. Vlad was probably playing by the actual rules, if you think about it, and actually going out and buying the stocks and stuff like that, and on actual markets that move. I'm even going to say lit because everybody Fidelity. All right, I'm not going to attack anybody, but because no one knows, so we can't laugh at the next person for not knowing because none of us know. As I said, this is all new to each and every single person as far as the expediency or the speed of the market movements. That wasn't a thing back before retail got really involved before 2017. So let's leave it at that. So let's go with that. As far as Robinhood, when they got margin called, they were supposed to put up, I think it was like $3 billion that they didn't have. They came up with like $700 million in order to rectify their margin. Now, all of a sudden, Robinhood's out, and we're buying on lit exchanges, and this is the same thing that happened with COVID. COVID vaccinations went to an all-time high, but also COVID hospitalizations went to an all-time high. Do you get what I'm trying to say here? If we have vaccines at an all-time high, shouldn't COVID deaths and things like that like be at an all-time low? But we're not seeing that. It's the same thing with this Robinhood debacle, guys. Everybody hated Robinhood. Oh, we're out. F you, Robinhood. But the funny thing is, now that they're out, none of our buy orders are actually going to the market, man. I find that odd. But this is all allegedly, so we're going to leave it there. Yeah, so retail does not move stocks. Okay, I did put Vlad into this. Citadel transfer short positions. Guys, you guys are funny on YouTube because Citadel covered their shorts. Did they? No. Otherwise, the stock would have been squeezed by now. Everybody would have covered. Once Citadel's out, trust me, that's going to be a big player out of the short position. That's going to make everybody get out because trust me on that. So, Citadel did not close their short position, guys. They transferred, possibly, if this is what Lewis was saying is correct, that they transferred their short position. That's something that goes on. Come on, we got to know this. You got to know this if you're in the market. And that's what one of my former videos that talked about why would I have to announce my short position, I said it was about legalities. There's a legal manner that stands here that makes it for a reputable company to have to just basically announce that instead of just, like I said, instead of Kenny G and all these guys saying, hey, let's pile in the same way retail piled in with their longs, we're going to pile in with our shorts. So instead of him saying what it was, which is him calling in a favor, like, yo, guys, it's good money out here, let's all do this, they do that. So that's allegedly. So Citadel transferred their short positions. So what's going on with that? Obviously, don't make videos talking about Citadel covered their shorts when we're looking at the damn stock price and the shit's going down massive amounts. Like, we don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear $100,000, $500 price target. I don't want to hear about covering shorts. I don't want to hear nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? I want to deal with the real information in front of us, which right now we're seeing the stocks going down. Vlad is out. And they work with Vlad. Like, yo, instead of having him come up with the $3 billion in margin, they said, all right, $700 million, we'll do that. Come on, man. If you don't see what's going on here, allow me to freaking tell you. Clearly, they don't want to deal with us. They want to have a handler that just, like I said, they don't want to look at our ugly mugs. They want to have a handler that's like, oh, retail's doing that? All right, there you go. Meanwhile, they're at the table. We're not at the table. So that's what I mean by them letting Vlad out. Was Vlad had to be somebody's friend from, you know, a little kid growing up. Maybe his dad was somebody important. Whatever it was, whatever the case may be. You know, they liked Vlad until they pointed him out to be the fall guy. Now, who knows what's going on behind the scenes, but Vlad is definitely fall guy. As far as like, retail and them saying, hey, anyways, you know what I'm trying to say. So let's move on. Bear market. We're in a bear market, guys. Guess why? They want you to take your ass back to work. It's that simple. They are going to, anything retail touches, and this is part of my alleged data assumption, that they're looking at it. They literally have a paper in front of them or a computer screen in front of them that says retail. What do they buy? 80% AMC and GME. Let's short it. Calls, BBY, all these other meme stocks. Let's short it. Anything retail touches, let's short it. And then I watched another interview with, I'm not sure of the fund, but they were looking to go after any stocks where people weren't at, as far as that's where they were going to be going long at. Wherever you're not at, that's where they're going long at. Wherever you're at, that's where they're shorting. I mean, this game is very simple to see if you have two eyes. So, the bear market is here. And as I said, that's the reason being they want to push the economy, which is not a bad thing. We do need to get our U.S. economy back in order, but it's not just retail that they need to be looking at here. Mr. Jerome Powell here with his hawkish, dovish. Bro, pick a side. I mean, obviously they're going to swip and flip-flop, but once you allow this thing to go too far, you got to put your foot down. And it seems like you don't want to do that. But anyways, price prediction. Okay. I did say earlier in the chat, I wish I would have put my video when I want. I said 1780 bounce back up after 17. I didn't say 1780. I said 17 and change. Bounce back after that. And that's kind of what we saw. I'm not looking at the price right now, but it was at about 1834 the last time I checked it. Off of the 1780 low of the day. What does that mean for the rest of this month, guys? Come on. We know it's going down, baby, or it's going to be flat. This thing is not going to be moving upwards in a good amount. As I said to you guys before, I went with the December date. Probably pulled the trigger a little too fast. I should have known that they're not going to give us the obvious first entry level. That's why I gave you the backup date in April. Again, we don't like dates. We don't do dates. We don't like price targets. We don't do those. But if this thing makes sense the way it should, we should be seeing the April movements. And if not by the summer, like I said, you know what to do. So let's get to the SEC, guys. SEC, they've been doing a lot. And we're going to directly correlate this to Charlie's vids. This guy's been releasing videos like a madman this weekend, and I've been trying to keep up here. But it's a lot of information, and sometimes you got to watch it twice to kind of just soak it all in and see exactly what he's saying. So that's another thing. So the SEC guys, is like I said, they're going to be strategic with the implementation of their new laws. That's what we've been seeing. Strategy. So with that said, the disclosure of shorts kind of ticked a lot of people off, if you didn't notice. They don't want to disclose their shorts intraday. They want to do a 2-day delay on that, or a day and a half, or whatever it is, delay, to report that the following trading day, end of day session. Why the heck would you want to do that? And I like the Andrew Mo Money video where he said, them whining about this is funny. As to, using an extra day to report your shorts. We know what type of manipulation there's going to be going on there. Forgot what he said directly. I'm not going to chop up his quote, but go back and watch that if you want to. But it makes sense to me that, they did say that if it's bad for our business, then it might be bad for that business across the street. Who knows? They could go down. That's a threat, guys. Like Andrew Mo said, the hedge funds, I guess, would be that's complaining about exposing disclosure of shorts on the intraday level. They're ticked off because they don't want to do that, because Now they're making threats. Well, if that's bad for our business, then that may be bad for this guy. So that's what they're using to threaten the SEC. And they did say that that's a tactic that they use. And there's usually never any threat as imminent as they try to portray on their um, retaliation marks or rebuttal marks. So we're going to end this video with the Wall Street Bets founder saying there will be more volatility in 2022. So that gives me a little smile on my face because, he's saying the Wall Street Bets founder, which is now up to about 10 million users, which is kind of crazy. So that lets me know there's about 10 million people that's interested in the stock market that are also on Reddit and Wall Street Bets. So that's kind of funny to see and smile and laugh at. Maybe there's people with multiple accounts. Obviously the active users per day didn't live up to the actual amounts. It was about 30,000 users online at the direct time that I think it was Charlie's Vids was exposed in that video. Great information out there, man. This weekend's been pumped with information. The thing I don't like about this weekend, which is the back and forth between different apes, that stuff's got to stop, man. It's just, what are you doing? As I said, none of us know what the hell's going on behind the scenes. All we can do is find the information that Mr. Gary Gensler told us to go out and find. Hey, guys, retail, I need help finding out information. If you guys know, send me an email. And I put a video out about this a few months back, which I laughed. I said it's funny, but also said it's not funny because he is making a statement about it and going out on a limb to say, hey, there's some malpractice going on here. Let's find out what's going on. So just for him saying that, guys, gave him a little bit of credibility from me. So, but Gary, we've done our part. Now it's time for you to do your part, sir. You gave these people ample amount of time on the other side to prepare for these new changes in the market, as everybody knew that was going to be happening. Let's put our implementations, let's get it done. There's no need for the delays. They had time to prepare. Everybody knows what's going on here. Retail is a power in the market, and they're probably not going to go anywhere, regardless of if I leave the market or not, or you leave, based on the fact that they're not doing anything about these fallacies and these incompletions in the market, to where we're not seeing what's supposed to be seen, which is supply and demand. So anyways, as I told you guys, I filled up my beneficiary. Stay tuned for more.